is Gaming Solo, and tonight we are, or today, night on recording, possibly today when you're seeing, we are looking at the RSI Polaris. And so recently, this was the biggest, fiercest ship in the game. It lost that crown to the Idris that was just released during the biggest launch week here just a couple weeks ago. And that's okay because this ship is still really monstrous. Honestly, I think this is the scariest capital ship that's currently in the docket to be created in this game. We'll talk about that a bit. To enter, there are ramps on the sides, but we're going to go to the elevator, and we're going to go work our way back, down, and then come back up and go, well, down, back, down, work our way back up, and then go back up the elevator to pick up the bridge. There is an update to this coming next patch that supposedly this elevator will be faster. We'll see. It is a little daunting standing outside, wondering if you're going to get sniped while you're waiting for this thing to come down and save you from your ground missions. So it's kind of small, actually. The size of crew that you can put on the ship and the way they can get off is kind of. I feel like they should have a larger elevator, but anyway. This is technically a Corvette that's supposed to be in space with fleets. So I guess they don't really care how many people you can spend on this thing at once. Alright. First things first, we're going to leave all that for the end. Up there. Right in here we have the armory. These are all suit lockers that will one day actually function, which would be great. Lots of gun racks all over the place. This is the fun room, right? Right here to the left is the captain's quarters. When this ship released, this room was not ready for the public for some reason. If you have like a little pistol or a knick-knack, you can put it up there and it sticks to the wall, which is interesting. You've got shelves that you can shelve things on. And then you got a private little bed and storage locker. And a private bathroom, because apparently they are still very serious about bathroom play. And if you have your helmet on, you're headless in the mirror. Okay. Right through here, it's a turret. On the other side is a twin turret. I say twin because it's the exact same setup, just on the other shoulder of the ship. You get pretty good visibility and range with these. As long as the target doesn't go up under the ship. You can see there we can get pretty tight against the ship there. Maybe we look at shoot ourselves. Nope. Okay, yeah, it doesn't let us shoot ourselves anymore. So it does stop automatically shooting when you get to the ship, so you can fire this thing at will. If it stops, you have to restart though. So if you overlap with the tip body and you're holding down the fire button, you do have to reset that. But these are pretty good. I believe those are size 5s of those. I'm not a numbers guy on these ships. At least not when I'm generally thinking about them. I am a numbers guy when I outfit them. Alright, so that is the twin turret there. Through here we have the crew quarters. So crew quarters are 2 bunks per room. You got a little desk area and a private bathroom for those 2 people. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 living quarters here. and then the living quarters open up to this section of the ship. We're going to go back to where we were real quick. This is where we entered living quarters. This is mess hall. And the very basic kitchen. I'm sorry if you hear crunching in the background. My dog decided to eat after not eating for the past like 20 minutes. We're going to save the hangar for last. Over here, that was that entrance to the crew quarters. This is your docking collar point. So when you dock with a station, this is where you'll actually exit the ship. And this is where the dock connects. So you just walk right out there. There is an identical one of those on the other side that we will see when we get there. Through here is another turret. I have honestly never sat in this chair before, so let's go see what we got. I think it's gonna be good. Okay, what do we have here? Let's fire these things on. Power on.
Welcome to
how many shots are we getting?
Enjoy the ride. System check.
This is one of the smaller turrets. We got a lot of shots right here. Nice. I like it. I like how that tucks in. I actually saw this exposed, this turret exposed, last night on stream on Kick. I had a turret shooting me when I landed, and it just tore through the armor over there. These are escape pods, by the way. So we have escape pods everywhere on the ship, in case, crap hits the fan. Fire extinguisher, that's nice. Alright, here's the fun section. I'm going to use this section a lot. It's the brig. One of my intended, I don't know, career paths, maybe, is a good word for it. In the verse is going to be bounty hunting. So brigs are awesome. You can open, this actually works right now. You can put somebody in there and close it, and they won't be able to get out. I don't want to close myself in here, but yeah. You can close somebody in there and there's no button for them to get out right now. So I guess you could technically knock out or drug somebody. Not that I'm advocating for that, but if you wanted to brig them, you could knock them out. Drug them and drag them here. And we're still ignoring the hangar for now, because we're going to get there in a minute, or in a few minutes. We will go down there in a bit, because we're going to end the upstairs tour with that room that is down there. Alright, coming around, so we're now on, if you can see my map in the top left, we're on the port side of the ship. We just went down the starboard side, so opposite the brig is the medical wing. These are 4 size 2 beds. As we know right now, especially with Tier 0 item recovery, even without Tier 0 item recovery, any med bed in the ship is great, because even if you have a Tier 1 injury and you don't have a Tier 1 bed, you can come right up beside the bed, make sure you're bound to it, and backspace. You'll wake up in the bed, you'll be able to relieve your body. We already spawned with our stuff. Life is good, right? So 4 med beds. All Tier 2. More escape pods. And that's another turret opposite of that. And this is that opposite docking collar. So if you ever dock on the port side, which is technically where you're supposed to dock, but the game docks you on the starboard side for whatever reason, that's where that goes. This is access. So in case your power's out and you need access downstairs, or your power's out but your life support's working, the gravity's working, you can go downstairs there. Alright, the hangar. So this hangar can fit a few ships at once. Really depends on how you squeeze them in. I only need one. The Hawk that you guys saw last week. I actually launched from this ship last week in that Hawk. So yeah, it fits. And most, well, actually all light and medium fighters, a few of the heavy fighters fit in here, or maybe all of them actually. I don't think I recall. I take that back. The Vanguards don't fit in here. Because that was one of my thoughts, is I wanted to get a Vanguard Sentinel and park it in here, and that would have been epic, but it doesn't fit. So, yeah, most fighters, but not all, will fit in here. Even if it goes, so you can see the line right there on the top of the Hawk. The Hawk comes up just a little bit more than the blast shield up there, but the hangar door closes above the blast shield. Now, hopefully in the future they don't make that, cause conflicts or anything like that. But for now, anything that breaches that just a little bit is fine, as long as the hangar door closes. Supposedly, we'll be able to repair and refuel from this hangar as well, which is going to be awesome. Alright, we'll jump down here to the very back of the ship. We got components all over the place in here. That's a cool little area here. There's our gravity grav core. So cool little corridor there. And then you can overlook the engineering area and the main, I guess, engine, or the engine's on the back. I don't know what you would call that. But engineering terminals coming soon. We're going to call the elevator. This elevator actually goes up, so this is kind of like a little half floor here, right? So we go up to the hangar. Engineering is where we're at currently. We're going to go to the cargo bay. Yes, technically engineering is on this bottom level, or bottom deck, I should say. Here we are. It's kind of weird that it says engineering, and then this is actually engineering, right? But, yeah, you can have quite a few engineers in here. You can even climb down this little ladder here. Let's see if there's anything to do down here. Oh my gosh, the ladders are striking again. There we go. Ooh, I almost died. I almost went to whatever that is. That says no step. Ooh, and this is water, so this is water cooled in here. I would love it if your grav went out, if all this water would just end up all over the room. It would be amazing. I don't know if they're going to pay that close attention to detail, but one can wish and hope, right? So both sides of engineering are identical, but it is a really, really cool. Look at that. Oh, it's really, really cool, right? I love it. This is the cargo area. I cannot remember exactly how much cargo this holds. Sorry. We've got another ladder here. Let's go upstairs. One of the really cool things it has is this tractor beam. So we're going to use the tractor beam. I think I've got to power it on. Yes. And then we can enter a remote turret. So, if we take this to one of those really dangerous pyro places where you have to pull some kind of illicit substance or whatever kind of substance they have you pulling for the the story team to have some kind of story to put something around because they can't come up with anything super original. Anyway, you just park this next to it and you can pull it in with this tractor beam, which the tractor beam doesn't, I don't see it right now. I don't know what the heck's going on. You hear me firing it off. Hey look, in all of the cameras, I am headless. Anyway, that tells you where the tractor beam is. It's right here in the middle. Ta-da! But very handy. I think it's like 500 and something. It's like almost as much as a C2, but not really. So you have platforms everywhere. So let me tell you a little bit about these platforms. So these lifts back here are for cargo. So if you have some kind of small cargo ship come in with some cargo at the top, you can load it on the elevator and lower it down here to the cargo bay. Really freaking cool. I would love to see some of that in some of the bigger ships that are more industrial in nature. So maybe you have some kind of Polaris-like ship that's large, and maybe the Arastra will do a little bit. Well, the Arastra doesn't have a hangar, but being able to bring in something like Quantinium, raw Quantinium, and maybe a refinery in the ship where you can refine it, like the Arastra is going to have, or you can mine and refine there. But it'd be really cool if they came out with a refinery ship, just refinery. It doesn't mine, but it has a big hangar, so you can throw a golem or prospector or something in it, and you can go mine, and then you can bring it in, and you lift down to the bottom area, and you either store it and take it in somewhere for storage, or you refine it right there on the ship. It would be really cool. Anyway, we're talking military ships, so let me get back to that. The military angle of this, right? You have cargo because you gotta have supplies, you got a crew. You might go out on this thing for a year or more. That's kind of the purpose of the ship, is part of a fleet. But you can also load up missiles, or torpedoes. I'm sorry, torpedoes. So these 4 torpedo bays hold 5 missiles. So you got 5 torpedoes. I don't know why I keep saying missiles. So you got 20 missiles or torpedoes. Blah, 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 blah. I will get it right at some point. 20 torpedoes. You can load the torpedo right here for easier loading. So yeah, I don't know if you would though. Honestly, you could just use check beam to get it up here with the current game mechanics, but hey, I didn't design the game, did I? This is our elevator back up that we're going to take care of in a moment. This is where the magic happens. The torpedo room. Now, these things are stupid expensive. I don't know what they are right now. I remember when they came out, they were stupid cheap, and we were all going out and firing this thing off for fun, and there were no regrets. Now, there are many, many regrets. You see that? You see that? Just loaded up the missile. Here's the view you get when you're trying to grab a target. So we grab a target with the missile or with the torpedo. Target lock, fire off the torpedo. There's a rumor that dumbfire is getting removed in the next patch. We'll see how that goes. I think that's not very smart, but that's just me. Dumbfire is just a fun mini game, right? And then, other than the torpedoes, the greatest weapon at the disposal of the Polaris, a bespoke size 6 manned ballistic turret. To say that this thing hurts would be an understatement. No, it's no Idris railgun, but holy cow. They have it firing simultaneously now too. I did not know that going into this, so. And that ammo count is per gun, of course, so we have 97 more shots of 2 that we can shoot from this. Oh, that's amazing. 900 on a full clip. That's a great turret. That's also expensive to refill. Size 6 ballistics are no joke. Cannot wait to craft these out so we can build a bunch of those things. Hey look, random fuse. I'm glad that they put a cover on this one so you don't accidentally grab a fuse while you're walking by trying to do something else, right? Okay, we're gonna go back up to the top of the ship now. We've seen where the magic happens, we've seen where we can store our toys. I forgot to mention, speaking of toys, back in the cargo, those are full ramps that go out on either side, so you can load vehicles in this thing too. There it goes. See, this elevator's so slow, sometimes I don't think it works. Sometimes I think it's acting like it's on Area 18. Slowly. Okay. Now we're going to go through this one. Got a lot of escape pods here, which makes sense because we're about to be on the bridge. I'm excited about this. One of these in my 6 room die as well, and a lot of other tips, and one day it will do something. But for now, It's just a tease. I kind of hope that this means something too one day, that these actually give you information and they're not just a copy paste from the NFTs. So to show what we have here, this is the bridge, and this is a remote turret chair. To what remote turret? I'm going to admit right now that I have no idea, and we're about to find out together. Power on. Enter the remote turret. Oh, is this the, let's find out. It won't let me fire. I believe... When you hit F4, it takes you out of the turret. I believe that's the missile turret, I believe. That's why it won't let me shoot it. Let's power this guy on. Let's see what we got. Enter remote turret. Ooh. Yeah, that was definitely the missile turret, because this is another anti-fighter turret. Speaking of anti-fighter, this thing is also covered in PVCs. I say covered, there's 6 of them, and they shoot at small targets, no matter what they are. So up here we have the captain's chair. This is literally a captain's chair in the literal sense that if you watch something like Star Trek, you know the captain's just sitting there barking off orders to everybody. That's what this is. Even powered on. I can't do anything. I have no joysticks, no nothing. I'm doing nothing in this seat other than barking off orders to them to do stuff. Alright. But again, that feels real Star Trek-y right there. Pilot and co-pilot seats are completely identical in form and what they can do. You can pilot the ship from both, so really it just comes down to what side you like to view up better. You can fire missiles from both of these seats. You can enter quantum. They all do the same thing. So it's kind of nice to have the option. It's also nice that if you're piloting and you have a co-pilot and you need them to take over, you can tell them to take over once you leave your seat, and you can leave your seat to do whatever you're going to do. And that, ladies and gentlemen, oh wait, that is the Polaris. Let me get another F4 view of it here for you, so we can take a look all the way around. This is the back of the ship with those massive engines, and this massive landing gear that I was standing next to. And there's the bridge with me sitting in it. I gave you some scale, and so I look big there because I'm actually closer than the landing gear. Landing gear, I'm only about as tall as that first little section where that toe goes up. If that tall. Oh, nice. The floor is going to disappear for us. We can look underneath. So you can see the man turret there, the size 6s. Oh, it's just such an awesome ship. So, why do I think that this is going to continue to be a threat, even with the Aegis out and the Javelin on the way, which we don't know when the Javelin's coming, but that ship is massive. It's like 3 or 4 Aegises long. It's ginormous. This thing is going to be formidable because of 2 reasons. One of those size 10 torpedoes, 10 or 12, I can't remember. Massive torpedoes, plenty of them. I know that the PDCs hit them, but if they continue to allow us to dumbfire, you can have a little skill and good timing under your belt and deliver some pretty punishing blows with those. Those are designed, like the whole lore behind the ship is to kill other capital ships and to be kind of maneuverable and Corvette-like, which is why I'm a little disappointed that they nerfed some of the aspects of the ship in this patch as far as its speeds and its ability to turn. I get that it was turning almost as fast as like a 600i, but that's not our problem, right? We didn't tweak everything in that way. I think that the turning rate that it had before was pretty dead on and pretty much what you want, because this is a ship that's going to hit and run. Though it can take a beating. I did help crew an Idris the other night, and we were going after bounties, and a lot of those bounties are running around in Polarises, and fighting a Polaris in an Idris, even with the nose cannon on the thing, and I'm not talking about the laser, we're talking um, the actual cannon that's on the Idris. I can't remember the Idris names and the differences, but this is the one that we were in was the one that shot the railgun, and that railgun hitting the Polaris, watching us nail the Polaris with the railgun, I don't know, 10 times, and the thing was still going. It's insane. This thing has a lot of staying power for its size, and those torpedoes are very damaging. If you hit the Idris just right, it will take the Idris out in one hit. You have to double fire, you have to do it pretty close so that it doesn't get popped by the PDCs, but this thing can take out an Idris in one or two torpedoes, depending on how well of a hit you get every time, like clockwork. So, really love the ship. I wish there were some better skins for it. I wish that there was some ship customization, but apparently that can't happen. So I'll take more skins that are really cool, because while the kind of stealthy gray blacked out look is fine, it'd be nice to have some options. And it'd be nice to see different stuff when you see a giant capital ship out there in the verse. Currently I feel like they're all the same color except for, oh, that paint that's on the edges. It's so good. But anyway, that has been the walkthrough slash review of Polaris. I would take it out, but it's not crewed, so that wouldn't be very exciting. The most you could really see is the PVC shooting at small targets. But I'm pretty sure we've all been in the middle of that if we do any kind of space flight. Because if you get close to one of these and you are hostile, and in previous patches you can just get close to it and you're not hostile and you get shot. But if you're hostile, you're going to get shot down if you're in a smaller ship. Not if you're in like a Corsair or a Connie, but if you're in some kind of fighter, this thing is going to wail at you relentlessly as soon as you get within, I think the range is like 3,000 meters, so 3 kilometers. Maybe a little less than that, but anytime you get near the ship, you got fire coming down on you, and it's great. So anyway, I love this ship. This is a mainstay in my fleet. It's not going anywhere, and it will. Oh man, it'll be used so well as time goes on and more capital ships get in, and they start to refine and mature that capital ship gameplay. Anyway, what is your favorite capital ship? There are more capital ships on the pipeline coming. A Javelin I mentioned. You could call the Banyu Merchantman a capital ship. I feel like it's not a combat ship, but it is a giant ship that would be kind of the head of a fleet of traders, right? But there's a few capital ships in the verse or coming to the verse. So drop a comment and let me know what your favorite one is that we're either have in our hands now or are still waiting for. Also, if you want to continue seeing content like this, go ahead and hit subscribe and pop that thumbs up. That'd be really appreciated. And I will see you guys next time in the verse.